get some more.
Hey guys, PokeDan here. Over a year ago, I made a video discussing my Pokemon teams for every region, and after creating it, I didn't think there was much left to talk about in terms of my teams. However, recently, I watched a video by Emperor Cubone where he discussed his backup teams for every region. It was a really cool video, and it was the inspiration behind this video, so definitely check it out. It'll be linked down below. So yeah, there are two rules that I've given myself for this video that I have to abide by. The first one is that I can't use any Pokemon on my team that I used in my previous video. Also, I have to use Pokemon from the region that they debuted in. An example of this is that I can use Blastoise in Kanto, but not in Kalos. Of course guys, this is all in my own opinion, so be sure to let me know what your backup teams are down in the comment section. But with all that being said, let's get started with the video. Up first is Kanto, and as you can see, this is the team that I used before, however that had to entirely change for this video. This time round, I've swapped out my starter for Charizard. Charizard's a Pokemon that I've always found to be really cool, and what with it being a flying type too, that also solved my problem of not being allowed a Pidgeot as the transport Pokemon on my team. Up next, we have Arbok. Now this Pokemon isn't anything too special when it comes to strength, but hey, on an in-game team, it does the job, and with it also being one of my favourite Kanto Pokemon, why not use it on a team of mine? Next up is Poliwrath. Now, I was going to choose Machamp for the fighting type, but why not use Poliwrath instead? With it being part water type, it can learn Surf, and as we all know, that's just super useful. Another 3-stage evolution Pokemon I'll be using is Golem. With how strong this Pokemon is, it is just bound to come in handy on my Kanto team. Right, so on the team so far, we have a fire and a water type Pokemon. So why not add grass to the mix? For this, I've opted to use Exeggutor. As well as grass, I'm certain that psychic typing will be useful. And finally, to round off my team for Kanto, we have Jolteon. I adore electric type Pokemon and evolutions too, so with this choice I get the best of both worlds and it really does make a nice addition to my team. Speaking of which, these are the final backups that I've chosen for Kanto. For Johto, I can't use any of these Pokemon due to me having them on my original team, so let's swap them out, beginning with the starter, who has now changed to Feraligatr. As much as I like Typhlosion, this is another cool Johto Pokemon, and having a water type is important on any team. So now I have a Surfer in the squad. For my flying type, Crobat was the backup choice. I've always admired this Pokemon's design, and having used it before, I know it's a decent mon. So bring on those fighting types, Chuck, because Crobat's here to wing attack them all the way. If Crobat's not up to the task, I'm sure my third mon, Espeon, can handle them. Both Johto evolutions are really cool, but I feel like in terms of how useful it will be on my team, Espeon was just the better choice. A new typing introduced in Johto was Steel, and I've decided to have a Steelix on my backup team. This Pokemon is strong as heck, and it's a mon that I see as pretty underrated. So time for it to shine on my team. Another strong Pokemon on my team is Heracross. Because of the anime, I've always loved Heracross, and you know what? That's a fine reason to have it on my Johto party. Finally, we have the Fire type member, which is Houndoom. As well as Fire, it brings the Dark typing to my team, so it's another reason that Umbreon isn't needed. Even if both these Dark types are equally as cool. Anyway, here is my finished Johto backup team. For Johto, this was my previous team, however this time my starter will be Blaziken. Is it the best fire and fighting type? Nope, that's Infernape, but it's still a pretty damn good runner-up, so welcome to the team. For water and grass, I've chosen Ludicolo. This Pokemon is a good 2-for-1 offer with its type combination, and it's useful to have on your team for that exact reason. A bit of psychic strength is needed on this team, so I'll be adding a Gardevoir to my party. Having used it before, it has a great deal of power, so that's a welcome addition. Another powerhouse is that of Aggron. Now, I've never used this Pokemon before, but it seems pretty strong, and it would be good to test the waters with this Steel type. But if Aggron's not so good, my Flying type Salamence will be, and I'm sure of it. I know it'll take a while before it can fly, but it will be so worth it because I love this Pokemon a lot. Finally, rounding off the team is Glalie. In the past, I've used Frostlass on a team of mine, and this alternate evolution was a consideration. So this time, I'll be using it as a cool member of my party. Okay, that was bad, I am done. So yeah, this is my finished backup team for Hoenn. Okay, so this was my previous Sinnoh team. Pretty damn solid, but it needs to change. So let's start by swapping this for this. Empoleon is another of the starter trio for this region that I adore, and its typing is definitely to be admired, so it's a good first member of the party. For a grass type, I'll be using Roserade. Being a Pokemon that I've had experience with, I know it's a strong fighter, and variety as well as strength is always a must. Another must is a flying type, so enter Drifblim. This Pokemon is just so different to other flying alternatives, and I feel like its ghost typing could also be useful. So yeah, bring it on. Okay, so in Hoenn I had a Gardevoir, and in Sinnoh I'll be adding Gallade to my team. Being both psychic and fighting, this pocket monster certainly brings a variety to my team. And I mean, it's also pretty damn badass. Another badass that will be on my team is Garchomp. Being the pseudo-legend of Sinnoh, I won't have to worry about strength. Even if it does take a while to evolve, it will be so worth it. And finally, to finish off my team, I will need a fire type, which will be Magmortar. Sinnoh is known to have an awful selection of fire Pokemon, but I'm more than happy to use this beast on my journey. Anyway, this is the completed Sinnoh backup team. Next up is Unova, so here was the original team. This time round, I'll be swapping out Emboar for Serperior. This is another Gen 5 starter I like, and I think it would be a strong addition to my team, as well as a Pokemon with a cool design. For my flyer, I'm gonna be choosing Swoobat. This is one underrated Pokemon, and it has a great type combination, so that's always welcome on any of my squads. Alright, so although I hate Palpitoad, Seismitoad will be my surfer in Unova. This Pokemon will be easy to access early in the game, and I feel like I should probably give its pre-evolution one more chance. Guys, the anime really did ruin Palpitoad for me. Another early access Pokemon is Scolipede. Usually I'd opt for Leavanny, but this is another bug type with a great design, and it's one that I think could have potential in my party. Up next is Darmanitan. Being a fire type, this pocket monster will certainly bring the heat, and I know that in a lot of battles this will come in handy. Finally, rounding off the team this time round will be an electric Pokemon, and it is Electros. This mon will not be easy to obtain, but it's always been one that I've loved, so I suppose some things in life are worth it. That being said, here is my squad for the Unova region. You know the drill by now, this is the first team. But what if I were to tell you that there'd be no starter this time round? Well, I would be one big liar, because now I choose Greninja, and I mean, do I really need to say why? Its design speaks for itself, and being a water type, it's gonna be learning Surf at some point on my journey. Up next is the Fire Edition Pyro. When this Pokemon was first revealed, I thought its design was amazing, and having used it on a playthrough before, I know that it'll be a strong fighter, just like my next choice, Florges. This Pokemon brings its fairy type to the team, however it also learns a lot of grass moves, so that's bound to be of use. Up next is Aegislash, and with how great this Pokemon looks, accompanied by its strength, I'm shocked that this was not on my original team. But as you can see, I don't repeat my mistakes. My fifth team member is one that I've never used before, being Avalugg. This Pokemon has always piqued my curiosity, so it's time for me to give in and add it to my team. So, my final team member is gonna be a late addition, but it's Noivern. In the anime, this thing was awesome, and there's no denying that it's strong, so I'd be brain dead not to use it. And yeah, this is the finished team for Kalos. Alola, and this was my original team. Instead of Decidueye, this time I'll be using Incineroar. I've never used this fire type before, however it really does have an awesome design and it would be cool to use outside of Smash. Although in Gen 7 a flying type isn't needed, I still want to use Toucannon on my backup team. I neglected this Pokemon on my first team because I didn't have to use it, but this time round it will be in my party. Up next we have two 3-stage evolution Pokemon, being the grass type Zarina and electric bug Vikavolt. From what I've seen of the Alola anime, these Pokemon are quite the characters, and having missed them on my first playthroughs, I'd love to give them a try out on my backup team. Next up, for my water type, I've opted for Toxapex. In this video, I've preached about having variety on my team. And what with this Pokemon also being poison type, it's gonna be a useful member. And finally, the last member of my team is gonna have to be Palisand. I mean, it's a haunted sandcastle. That's awesome, so for that alone I want to use it. But again, it's a Pokemon I've passed on using previously. So yeah, this is my final Alola team. But anyway guys, with that being said, that pretty much wraps things up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Also be sure to let me know what your backup teams are down below. But with all that being said, for now, I've been PokeDan, you've been amazing, and I'll see you guys next time.